Binti Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah, who is accompanied by Professor Dr. Rose Alinda alias Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, University Technology Malaysia, Dr. Robert Bong, Vice Chancellor, UCSI University, Dr. Hamida American, and Ms. Patricia Nunes from Harmony Works, Sendirian Berhad. Your Royal Highness Raja Zari Sofia binti Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah, Chancellor of University Technology Malaysia, Dr. Robert Bong, Vice Chancellor, UCSI University, Professor Dr. Rose Alinda binti alias UTM Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, Professor Dr. Lee Chai Wan, Deputy Vice Chancellor, International Relations and Postgraduate Studies, UCSI University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Tajuddin bin Haji Mingau, UTM Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs and Alumni, Dr. Hamida American, Senior Consultant, Harmony Works in Berhad, UTM Senior Officers, UCS, CSI, Senior Management, all participants of Inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp 2012, Open Hearts and Minds, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Salam Sejahtera, Salam Satu Malaysia, and welcome to the Inaugural Diversity. And during the program, they will be exposed to the concept and the reality of diversity and its impact on them, as well as skills to realize tools available to better appreciate diversity. It is hoped the students will leave this camp as ambassadors of diversity to promote its significance on their return to their home countries and respective institutions. Our intent is to make the students' participation a significant contribution towards their credit earning hours under the extracurricular programs within their respective institutions. On behalf of the organizing committee, I'd like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to all of you for making this youth camp a reality. Ampun Tuanku. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome the Vice Chancellor of UCSI University, Dr. Robert Bong, to convey his welcoming remarks.
Very good morning to Your Royal Highness Raja Zari Sofia binti Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah, Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Muhammad Tajuddin bin Haji Mingau, University Technology Malaysia Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs and Alumni, Professor Dr. Rose Alinda binti alias University Technology Malaysia Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, Professor Dr. Lee Chai Wan, Deputy Vice Chancellor, International Relations and Postgraduate Studies, UCSI University, Ms. Patricia Nunes, Director, Harmony Works, Sendirian Berhad, Dr. Hamida Markan, Senior Consultant, Harmony Works, Sendirian Berhad. Esteemed event sponsors, Ms. Catherine Heidel, Head of Cultural and Press Section, the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, Mr. Fitri Abdullah, Senior Vice President, Maxis Business Division, Maxis Berhad, University Technology Malaysia Senior Officers, UCSI University Senior Management Team, all participants of the Inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp 2012, Open Hearts and Minds, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very special day for all of us and for the education of our youth in Malaysia and across the world. On behalf of the UCSI University, Harmony Works and University Technology Malaysia, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Your Royal Highness Raja Zarif Sofia binti Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah for gracing the inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp 2012 and for agreeing to deliver the opening remarks on this auspicious occasion. Education is not about academic achievement alone. Education is also about nurturing your values and developing your character. More importantly, education is about returning what you have gained to your communities, countries, and humanities at large. Today, we all live in an interesting time. The advancement of science and technology and the progress of social and economic development in an increasing globalized world expose us to an unprecedented level of diversity amongst us. It is imperative for all of us not only to understand diversity, but to appreciate, embrace diversity, so that we all live together harmoniously with mutual acceptance and respect. The concept of diversity encompasses acceptance and respect. But it starts with understanding that each individual is unique, recognizing our individual differences. Diversity can be viewed in the dimensions of race, culture, ethnicity, socio-economic status, religious beliefs, political beliefs, genders, age group, and any form of orientation or ideologies. How each of us ascribes to these dimensions determines our approach in managing diversity and our view about our world. Inclusion is the active, intentional, and ongoing engagement with the various dimensions of diversity in people. And specifically, in our case here, in our students and curriculum of our education, with the intent of achieving a heightened awareness among us in appreciating, embracing, and celebrating diversity. The theme of our inaugural camp is open hearts and minds. In the next 2 days, we hope to create a safe, positive, and nurturing environment for you. Together with a group of trained facilitators to impart on you a set of tools and skills so you may explore the differences among us. We will spend time examining our own prejudices, instill values of mutual acceptance and respect within each one of us. By the conclusion of this inaugural camp, we hope that you will share your experiences with those who did not have the opportunity to attend this camp, and to continue to spread the message long after camp is over. With that, I'm pleased to note that the gathering here consists of 138 students from 7 local and 3 international universities from 22 countries across the globe. Among them being the United States of America, Canada, Botswana, Brunei, Republic of Czech, Djibouti, India, Indonesia, Iran, Jordan, Korea, Malaysia, Maldives, Nigeria, Palestine, Puerto Rico, Somalia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Uganda, and Yemen, and more. We also have 10 youth speakers and 30 facilitators, both local and international, from private, public, and non-governmental organizations, such as Airline Pilot, Bar Council Malaysia, Islamic Research Foundation, COMAS, Petronas, Team Coach, and 3 Fulbright Fellows from the United States of America and Puerto Rico, as well as various parties from the education sector. We would like to take this moment to thank and acknowledge our key sponsors, namely the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, Kuala Lumpur, a private individual, and Maxis Berhad Hotlink for their invaluable contributions in cash and in kind, as well as the universities and organizations who have sent their students and facilitators to attend this camp. It is our intent that this inaugural event will act as a catalyst and platform to solicit support and participation from a wide group of people and institutions, so that the Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp will be an annual event to be hosted by different institutes of higher learning in different states of Malaysia moving forward. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Robert Wong, for that warm welcome. Ampun Tuanku. May I now have the pleasure of inviting Professor Dr. Rose Alinda, alias Deputy Vice Chancellor of University Technology Malaysia, Academic and International, who is representing the Vice Chancellor, to deliver her welcoming remarks. Let us welcome Professor Rose Alinda to the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam satu Malaysia. Ampun tuanku, beribu-ribu ampun, sembah Patik, mohon diampun. Pada pagi yang barakah ini, Patik dan seluruh warga UTM dengan sepenuh hormat dan takzim dan tawaduk merapat sembah menjunjung setinggi-tinggi kasih di atas berkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Raja Sari Sofia binti Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah, Chancellor University Technology Malaysia, berangkat mencemar duli ke Majlis Inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp 2012 pada hari ini. Ampun tuanku, Patik memohon berkenan bagi Patik menyampaikan ucapan kepada para hadirin sekalian dalam bahasa Inggeris. Dr. Robert Wong, Vice Chancellor of UCSI, Professor Dr. Patruddin Inaugural, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student President, Alumni, Professor Dr. Lee Chaibon, Deputy VC, UCSI, Dr. Hamidah Marikan, Senior Consultant of Family Work, Sendirian Berhad. We also have Catherine Heidi from the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, and we have Fitri. I really like his card because his card says call me Fitri, so I call him Fitri from Maxis. And most important, the participants of the Inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp 2012, and you will be future ambassadors for diversity and inclusion of your respective campuses. Congratulations for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah, it has been a pleasure for UTM to be invited by UCSI and Harmony Works in Berhad to be involved in organizing and hosting this inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp. On behalf of UTM and the Vice Chancellor, I would like to welcome everyone to this event and to UTM, which we hope will not only address the issues of diversity amongst our youth in Malaysia, but as we can see from the representation of all the countries in this very room, it's actually all across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, in our increasingly pluralistic society, it's becoming more and more important for us to educate our youth with a greater, not only awareness, but I think it's more important, the understanding of others around us, especially those who are different, not only in terms of ethnic background, language and gender, but also in terms of age, work, and life experiences. And I was just remarking to Tuanku just now, despite coming from all the many countries that were read out by Dr. Robert Bong, all of you look the same actually to us. So we are all actually one and the same, no matter how many or diverse or how different we are. So this need for understanding of diversity in multiple aspects is crucial for us to ensure our future generation will be able to work hand in hand and contribute to the nation and society, and definitely to the world as a whole. It's also interesting to note that the issue of diversity and inclusion is not only an issue that should be addressed amongst our youth or confined to the classrooms in our schools, but it is also one of the major issues that universities like UTM and UCSI must address, especially in tandem with globalization activities that are taking place, and with the large increase of international students and staff around campus. For example, in UTM, the number of international students has increased dramatically from 364 in 2005, and in December 2011, we have 4,435 international students coming from 65 different countries. Because prior to holding this post, I was the Dean for Graduate Studies, where the majority of these international students come from. Having the international students in UTM was one of the best things to happen to UTM and to graduate education in UTM and to the country. I must say that. And this added dimension to the landscape of UTM students has actually increased our understanding of what we are, where we come from, and how we are. Despite our differences, we are all actually, we have the same dreams like everyone else. So this is actually part of UTM's efforts and aspirations to establish UTM as a global brand by 2020. We have tried to address the issue of diversity and inclusion through various initiatives within the university. We have had to introduce various training programs and awareness programs to our employees, who are, I would say, 99% of Malaysians, which was quite a shock for us to have the international students amongst our grounds a few years ago. We also started to have recruitment exercises to have international staff from different countries to be in our classrooms. We also have had to establish guidelines to ensure that the differences are actually embraced instead of being regarded as barriers or challenges. And all in all, as I've mentioned before this, all in all, it creates a better campus life for UTM. Many improvements have also had to be made in our infrastructure. For example, Dr. Tajuddin knows this very well because he's responsible for the student hostel. So we only realized that different cultures have different requirements in terms of the accommodation. And we try to incorporate these different requirements within our campus life. So ladies and gentlemen, we are very pleased that now UCSI, the Endowment Works, has approached us through this inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp, which now becomes an additional platform for our students and our youth to discuss these important issues of diversity and inclusion. And we sincerely hope that this camp will provide suggestions especially for the UTM top management team, on how can we promote this awareness and understanding on the whole spectrum of diversity and inclusion in our campus, in our schools, and actually to bring back to our homes amongst the people around us, to ensure that our future generations will be strong to face the challenges of a globalized world. So on that note, thank you Tuanku. Terima kasih Tuanku. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure in welcoming Her Royal Highness Raja Zari Sofia binti Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah to deliver her opening remarks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and good morning. It is a great pleasure for me to be here this morning and to be part of this inaugural youth camp. I'm also delighted to know that so many young people from Malaysia and from other countries are here to attend this camp. And it is indeed important to us all to try and understand each other, and being here at this youth camp is one way to do so. It is said that no man is an island, and that is very true about the times that we live in right now. Great advances in technology and telecommunications give us access to social websites on the internet, Twitter, Skype, and news updates every second on our television screens. Because of the easy access to news, item and world events, we become witnesses to events which show that racial and religious tensions remain a huge problem that have not been overcome in many countries and have led to civil wars and international armed conflicts. It has also become so much easier for us all to travel or to study in a different part of the world. And we are linked to each other in so many different ways. And we now have greater knowledge about people from different parts of the world. For example, all of us can read about the Arab Spring that began last year in our newspapers and on the internet. And news channels on television also give us images of what has happened in the Middle East. Diversity is a fact of life for all of us as global citizens. We can no longer afford to live in a bubble and ignore the diversity which exists in our own country or around the world. And it is young people of today who must try to understand, accept, and embrace diversity, and to do so much, much better than how we have done. We should accept that we are all of different races and religions, and rather than just tolerating each other, because acceptance means we are ready to acknowledge and respect each other's diversity. I have seen the film Gado, or Fight, which I have been told all of you will be watching later, and I would like here to share with you part of what I said at a lecture at the University of Kebangsaan Malaysia, or UKM, at a language conference last year, because it explains how conflicts such as in the film begin. I quote from a book called Conflicts Across Cultures, written by Michel Vernon and Banashri Pillay, who write, "People in conflict often converge into camps split between perceived good and evil, right and wrong, just and unjust. Once the split begins, mistrust may grow, deepening the rift between our side and their side. A sense of we-ness and they-ness emerges. And those within the same group look for more reasons to distrust the other side and trust their own. As the party's attitudes become rigid, they will feel more confident and predicting that the other side will grow increasingly evil, uncompromising and offensive, while their side will remain good, generous and defensive. At this youth camp, instead of perpetuating the idea of we and them, I would like to suggest that we try our best to change intolerance into understanding, altering entrenched and narrow views to a broader understanding of our fellow citizens and global citizens with whom we share this delicate world. I would like to use another example from the same book, Conflicts Across Cultures, and this one is a description of post-apartheid South Africa, and one which I think may indeed describe our own country, Malaysia. The writers say that the rainbow is the image most closely associated with post-apartheid South Africa. A rainbow's beauty does not come from complete unification or blending of the different colors. Instead, its magnificence is revealed in the way that the colors complement and harmonize with each other. Each other's individuality, uniqueness and brightness is not lost. In fact, it is a complete rainbow that makes the individual colors more visible. This image introduces the South African idea of Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. From this image, we remember that unity is not uniformity or sameness, but harmony in the midst of diversity. So let us all try to be united in our efforts to accept and embrace diversity, and to be united in our efforts to remember that unity is not uniformity or sameness, but that we can achieve unity through diversity. And let us start doing so here at this very youth camp. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sophia, for that inspiring and stimulating remarks. Would like to invite Professor Rose Alinda, Dr. Robert Holmes, Professor Dr. Tajuddin, and Dr. Hamida to accompany Her Royal Highness on stage. As a token of appreciation, may I please invite Her Royal Highness Raja Zari Sophia to present mementos to our sponsors' representatives, starting with the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, Ms. Catherine Halo. May I also invite, and as a token of appreciation, may I please invite Dr. Robert to present a memento to Her Royal Highness. It's entitled One, and it comprises of 3 elements from Javanese, Chinese, and Tamil characters, representing number 1 are used as the center of the composition. The vertical is 1 in Jawi, while the horizontal form is 1 in Chinese character, and lastly, the more complex form is taken from the Tamil's 1 character. The metallic paints, copper and gold, are used to emphasize the strength and pureness of the diversified culture among the 3 major races in Malaysia. As a whole concept behind the painting, the artist was looking for something quite modern yet strongly represent our communities. Thus, he settled with the Pago Pago series by our modern painter, Abdul Latif Mohidin, as a direct influence for the composition. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded the official opening ceremony for the inaugural Diversity and Inclusion Youth Camp 2012.
I have a feeling. It's in the air. It happened to me a few days ago in KL. I asked 3 times, and suddenly, right at the moment, I'm supposed to sit on the left.
You want to see how fast your reaction
Yeah.
disorder. So we mix people around.
Good. Yes.
Nobody's supposed to know more than 4 persons at the table.